Good morning. Today we are going to start Module 3, Lesson 2, which is called Talking About Where You Come From. Okay, so I will do a quick share screen here and we will look at the objectives for today. Let's see right here. Okay, so today we will talk about education, government, and national holidays in different countries. We will also compare the education, government, and national holidays of the U.S. to those of various countries. Okay, so let's go ahead and get you started here. Over here. All right, let's look at the first one. It says, practice these words, listen, and then record yourself. Now, of course, we just practiced, so practica estas palabras. All right, our first words are places. Lugares.
Capital.
Capital. Capital or capital.
Capital.
Okay, next one is
Central America.
Central America or America Central.
Central America. City.
City, ciudad,
City. Country.
country o país,
Country. Florida.
Florida o Florida,
Florida. Honduras.
Honduras or para nosotros es Honduras,
Honduras.
Honduras,
State.
state. Okay, state o estado es cada una de las áreas en el que se divide los Estados Unidos.
State.
State. Next one is languages o idiomas.
Local language.
Local language o idioma local.
Local language.
Next one,
Official language.
official language
Official language.
o idioma oficial. Our next words are education or educación. First one,
College.
college. Colegio. Yo diría colegio. Aquí dice universidad. En los Estados Unidos una universidad típicamente es un colegio de 4 años o más. Y un colegio, un college, es no más de 2 años. So yo diría a lo mejor colegio universitario.
Education.
Education o educación.
Education. School.
School o escuela.
School.
School. Okay. Our next words are expressions, expresiones.
Another thing.
Another thing. Otra cosa.
Another thing. For example.
For example, or por ejemplo.
For example. It depends on.
It depends on o depende de.
Lots of.
Lots of o mucho o muchas de.
The biggest city.
The biggest city o la ciudad más grande.
The biggest city.
The biggest city. Next one is
very few,
very few, or muy pocos, o pocas.
very few,
Next one is people, or personas.
adult,
Adult, o adulto.
adult,
Adult,
children,
children, o niños, hijos,
children,
children,
people,
people, or gente.
people,
Okay, now let's look at practice.
very few,
Very few. ¿Qué es very few? Muy pocos.
college,
College. ¿Qué es college? En este caso, universidad.
state,
State. Estado. Si lo encuentro aquí.
another thing,
Another thing. Disculpa, sorry. Excuse me. Otra cosa.
for example,
For example. Por ejemplo,
children,
children. Niños.
education,
Education. Educación.
city,
Ciudad.
lots of,
Lots of. Muchos de.
local language,
Local language. Idioma local. Okay, let's get two. Official language. Es idioma oficial. State. Estado. School. Escuela. Local language. Idioma local. Very few. Muy pocos. The biggest city. La ciudad más grande. Lots of. Muchos. For example. Por ejemplo. Oops. Sorry, hice clic en la respuesta equivocada. Central America. Centroamérica o América Central. Last one is college or university, universidad. Okay, por ejemplo, for example, lengua o idioma oficial. We know is official language. Niños is children. Adulto, adult. Universidad, university, or college. La ciudad más grande. The biggest city. Ciudad. Or city. Otra cosa. Another thing. Estado. State. And last one, educación, is education. Good job. So get listen. Okay. Listen to the presentation and then click true or false. Escucha la presentación, luego haz clic en verdadero o falso. So let's listen. Here we go.
My name is Carla. I'm from Honduras. Honduras is a big country in Central America. The capital is Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa is also the biggest city. The official language is Spanish. Some people speak local languages too. I want to talk about education in Honduras and the US. In Honduras, children have to go to school until they're 12 or 13 years old. In the US, children have to go to school until they are 16, 17, or 18. It depends on which state they live in. For example, here in Florida, children have to go to school until they are 16. Another thing about the education in Honduras is that very few adults go to college. In the US, lots of adults go to college.
Okay, let's listen one more time.
My name is Carla. I'm from Honduras. Honduras is a big country in Central America. The capital is Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa is also the biggest city. The official language is Spanish. Some people speak local languages too. I want to talk about education in Honduras and the US. In Honduras, children have to go to school until they're 12 or 13 years old. In the US, children have to go to school until they are 16, 17, or 18. It depends on which state they live in. For example, here in Florida, children have to go to school until they are 16. Another thing about the education in Honduras is that very few adults go to college. In the US, lots of adults go to college.
Okay, so let's look at number one. Okay, it says Honduras is in Central America. Is that true or false? That is true. Let's look at number two. The people in Honduras speak Spanish and local languages. True or false? That is true. Number 3, in Honduras, children have to go to school until they're 16 years old. True or false? That is false. In Honduras, children have to go to school until they're 12 or 13 years old. Okay, number 4, children in all the states in the US go to school until they are 18. Is that true or false? That is false. Children in the US, it all depends by the state. Depends on the state. For example, in Florida, children have to go to school until they are 16. So this is false. Number 5, lots of adults in Honduras go to college. True or false? False. Very few adults in Honduras go to college. So let's look at our answers. They're correct. Good job. Now let's look at words 2. Okay. It says practice these words. Practica estas palabras. Okay, our first group of words is government o gobierno. Government. Okay, first one.
Election.
Election o elección. Elección.
Election.
Election.
Government.
Government o gobierno.
Government.
Government.
President.
President o presidente.
President.
President.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister o primer ministro.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Voting age.
Voting age o edad para votar.
Voting age.
Okay, our next group of words are places o lugares.
Asia.
Asia. Asia. ¿Sí se dice en español?
Asia.
Asia.
Europe.
Europe o Europa.
Europe. North America.
North America o Norteamérica.
North America. Poland.
Poland o Polonia.
Poland. Seoul.
Seoul. Me imagino que se dice Seoul también en español.
Seoul. South Korea.
South Korea o Corea del Sur.
South Korea. Warsaw.
Warsaw or Varsovia.
Warsaw. Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Y claro que eso no cambia.
Washington, D.C.
Okay, next cluster of words are national holidays. Fiestas nacionales. National holidays.
Hang a flag.
Hang a flag o colgar una bandera.
Hang a flag. Independence Day.
Independence Day o Día de la Independencia.
Independence Day. Parade.
Parade o desfile.
Parade.
Next one is
Public holiday.
public holiday. o fiesta oficial o festivo oficial.
Public holiday.
Now we're looking at general o general.
Choose.
Choose, escoger.
Choose. Every 5 years.
Every 5 years o cada 5 años.
Every 5 years. I'd like to.
I'd like to.
I'd like to.
O me gustaría. Next one.
In both countries.
In both countries. O en los dos países.
In both countries.
Next one is
Type of school.
type of school. O tipo de colegio.
Type of school.
Okay, now let's look at the practice.
South Korea.
South Korea. O Corea del Sur.
Europe.
Europe. Europa.
In both countries.
In both countries. En ambos países o en los dos países.
Voting age.
Voting age. La edad para votar.
Choose.
Choose. Escoger o elegir.
Seoul.
Seoul. Seoul. Sorry. Basically, la respuesta equivocada otra vez.
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Día de la Independencia.
Parade.
Parade. Desfile.
Government.
Government. O gobierno.
North America.
North America. Norteamérica. Okay. Second part. I'd like to. Me gustaría. Government. Gobierno. In both countries. Okay. En los dos países. Every 5 years. Cada 5 años. Oops, there we go. Voting age. Edad para votar. Election. Elección. Next one is choose. Elegir o escoger. Prime Minister. Primer ministro. North America. Norteamérica. Last one is Poland or Polonia. Okay, next one. Next one is Primer Ministro. Prime Minister. Cada 5 años. Every 5 years. Gobierno. Or government. Poner o colgar una bandera. To hang a flag. Europa. Or Europe. América del Norte o Norteamérica. North America. Desfile. Parade. Edad para votar. Voting age. Tipo de colegio. Type of school. Last one, me gustaría o quería. I'd like to. Okay, good job. Now let's look at listen to. Listen to the presentation, then choose the correct answers. Escucha la presentación, luego elige las respuestas correctas.
My name is Woo Jin. I come from South Korea. South Korea is a country in Asia. Seoul is the capital, and it's also the biggest city. The language we speak is Korean. I'd like to tell you about the government. South Korea has a president and a prime minister. The elections for the president are every 5 years. The president chooses the prime minister. The U.S. also has a president and has elections every 4 years. In South Korea, the voting age is 19. In the U.S., it is 18.
Okay, let's listen again because that was actually very fast.
My name is Woo Jin. I come from South Korea. South Korea is a country in Asia. Seoul is the capital, and it's also the biggest city. The language we speak is Korean. I'd like to tell you about the government. South Korea has a president and a prime minister. The elections for the president are every 5 years. The president chooses the prime minister. The US also has a president and has elections every 4 years. In South Korea, the voting age is 19. In the US, it is 18.
Okay, number 1. Seoul, South Korea, or Asia is a country. South Korea. Number 2, Korean is a language, president, or city. It is a language. Okay, in South Korea, they elect blank every 5 years. A president. Number 4, there are elections in the US every how many years? 18, 4, or 5? Four. And number 5, the voting age in the US is 18. All right, let's check our answers. We're correct. Good job. Now let's look at read. Let's look. It says read and listen to the article. Then click the exercise tab and choose the correct answers. Lee y escucha el artículo, luego haz clic en la pestaña Exercise y elige las respuestas correctas. Okay, so.
Poland and the U.S.
Polonia y los Estados Unidos.
Poland is a country in Europe.
Polonia es un país de Europa.
The capital and the biggest city is Warsaw.
La capital y ciudad más grande es Varsovia.
The official language is Polish.
El idioma oficial es polaco.
The U.S. is the biggest country in North America.
Los Estados Unidos es el país más grande de Norteamérica.
The capital is Washington, D.C.
La capital es Washington, D.C.
But it isn't the biggest city.
Pero no es la ciudad más grande.
The U.S. doesn't have an official language.
Los Estados Unidos no tienen un idioma oficial.
But most people speak English.
Pero la mayoría de la gente habla inglés.
Government.
Government, gobierno.
Poland has a president and a prime minister.
Polonia tiene un presidente y un primer ministro.
There are elections every 5 years.
Hay elecciones cada 5 años.
The U.S. has a president.
Los Estados Unidos tiene un presidente.
There are elections every 4 years.
Hay elecciones cada 4 años.
In both countries, the voting age is 18.
En los dos países, la edad para votar son los 18.
Education.
Educación.
In Poland, children have to go to school until they are 16 or 18 years old.
En Polonia, los niños tienen que ir al colegio hasta que tienen 16 o 18 años.
It depends on the type of school.
Depende del tipo de colegio.
In the U.S., children have to go to school until they are 16, 17, or 18.
En los Estados Unidos, los niños tienen que ir al colegio hasta que tienen 16, 17 o 18.
It depends on which state they live in.
Depende del estado en que vivan.
National holiday.
National holiday o fiesta nacional.
In Poland, Independence Day is on November 11th.
En Polonia, el Día de la Independencia es el 11 de noviembre.
In the U.S., Independence Day is on July 4th.
En los Estados Unidos, el Día de la Independencia es el 4 de julio.
In both countries, Independence Day is a public holiday.
En ambos países, el Día de la Independencia es una fiesta nacional.
There are parades and many people hang flags.
Hay desfiles y mucha gente cuelga banderas. Okay, now exercise. Washington, D.C. is the capital of Poland, the capital of the U.S., or the biggest city in the U.S. It is the capital of the U.S. Number 2, the U.S. has a president and prime minister, or prime minister. President. Number 3, the voting age in Poland is 16, 18, or 17. Number 4, blank children who are 15 years old have to go to school. In both the U.S. and Poland, only in Poland, or only in the U.S. In both U.S. and Poland. And then number 5, Independence Day in the U.S. is on November 11, on July 4th, or not a public holiday. On July 4th. Let's check our answers. Good job. Now let's go to present. Let's see. Listen to the presentation, click the exercise tab to do the activity, then record yourself. Okay, we won't do that, but we're looking at Nicaragua.
Hi, my name's Emilio. I'm from Nicaragua. Nicaragua is the biggest country in Central America. The official language is Spanish. The U.S. is also a big country, but it's in North America. The U.S. doesn't have an official language. Most people in the U.S. speak English. Nicaragua has a president. The elections are every 5 years and the voting age is 16. The U.S. has a president too. The elections are every 4 years and the voting age is 18.
Okay, let's look at this exercise. Which sentence is true about both Nicaragua and the US? Both countries are in North America. The voting age is 18 in both countries, or they both have elections for a president. They both have elections for a president. Good job. All right, so let's do a quick review of our objectives, okay? So let's see. All right, so today we did talk about the government, education, and the national holidays in the different countries. The countries that we talked about today were the United States, Honduras, South Korea, and Nicaragua. Okay, we talked about their national holidays, for example, Independence Day. Okay, we talked about their voting, as well as education and how long they have to go to school. Okay, do not forget to do Module 3, Situation 2 in your packet. Okay, and then tomorrow I will send you our next lesson. Thank you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.